Hello and welcome to a new video, and today's video we're going to take a look at a new Shadow Pokemon that just got released in raids. We're going to take a look today at Trevenant, Shadow Trevenant here in the Great League Remix Cup. This cup is still available for a few more hours, and today we're going to have a very special Pokemon here as Trevenant is going to run the move of Frustration here actually. So sorry, on the right side it's actually not Shadow Ball, it should be Shadow Ball if you want to run this Pokemon yourself. But currently it is impossible to get rid of Frustration. So yeah, on the right side is the moveset that you should want to run. We are currently running the move set that is not ideal, as Frustration is a really bad move. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're going to be kind of more single moved here. We will never go for Frustration. Frustration is, I think that's like 30 damage for 70 energy or some stuff like this. It's really not great. And the first battle, we get completely hardballed by the randomest team that you could ever imagine. Like, what? Fearow? Then like a fighter against our favorite, and then having Bullet Punch Lucario waiting in the back in the Great League Remix Cup. Like, out of all the potential teams, this is the weirdest. And you know what's the funniest? This was the first battle that I did with this team. I was like, what are the chances that I go up against exactly this team with a Bullet Punch Lucario? I don't know. Anyhow, let's take a look here at the next opponent. We're going to have another horrible lead here of the Alone Sandsearch, but we are going to be able to align ourselves. And alignment is key with this one. And while we're only going to have Seed Bomb on our Trevenant, I don't think I'm going to miss that Shadow Ball too often. And if you can read the title, I actually climbed with this team. I went positive with the 2 sets that I played with this team, and the 2 sets, like 10 battles total with this team, because I want to get this video done as soon as possible. It is 1 AM in the morning for me right now, so I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you appreciate the content, if you appreciate the battles, if you always want to be up to date towards Pokemon GO PvP. But as you're gonna see, second battle is going to be a redemption, as you were able to destroy that fear there. But trust me, the leads didn't get easier. But what got a bit easier is the swaps from the opponent, because what the hell are they doing here? Why are you going into a Golduck against a Ferret? That is not the way to go, as we are just going to be able to use a shield, and even if they're going to go for the bait here, which they decide to go for, we are going to be in a very good position in order to knock them out. We have the fast move pressure, and now in comes the opponent's Wigglytuff. And this is going to be a matchup that we're going to be able to at least get a lot of damage up against. They would have been able to reach their Swift in time, but their value, their energy, a little bit more than their health, and this is a huge mistake, because what we have here in the back is going to be a Carbink that's going to enjoy that matchup. But also what we have here in the back is that Diggersby, and this is going to be an interesting matchup, as the opponent is going to have energy lead, which means they're going to be able to knock me out with another Fire Punch. I know now, thanks to the CM Pitta here, on how much energy the opponent has, and I know that I have to hit basically 2 moves here in order to have a chance of winning this battle, because we still have to use our Carbink in order to win this one. And I actually timed this move quite smart, because I expected that they want to snipe me with their Wigglytuff. That did not work out, and so now the opponent's Wigglytuff's charge move is going to go up against our own Carbink, which is going to be alright. I have a ton of energy on my Trevenant, and as soon as I decide to go for another Scorching Sands, I will be sopping out. I am not going to stay in here, and I should be able to stop out, especially as we're going to have here CM Pitta with the Moonblast. And while Moonblast is not going to be enough to knock them out here, we should be definitely in a position where you can just swap out, go for a Trevenant, and go for the Seed Bomb. And that's basically all we need. With the Seed Bomb buff this season, Trevenant is so much stronger. And I do think that the Shadow variant of the Trevenant is going to be a Pokemon you have to kind of deal with, and a Pokemon that's very much interesting. I am curious on how good it's going to be as well when we are going to be able to get rid of Frustration, which I do think is going to be very, very soon. I'm actually going to check on the site. I know there was an event coming up where you are going to be able to get rid of Frustration. So this is going to be an event that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be something that I'm definitely going to try to play. But yeah, we're going to have the Halloween event coming up now. There is currently not the potential option to get rid of Frustration. I know that there is an event though coming up very, very soon where you can do that. So it is definitely going to be quite an interesting one there. It's going to be quite nice. We're going to have here a bad matchup for us though. We have the Fortress. Fortress is not ideal at all. And as we're going to see here, I think it's the lead-up event to the wild area. Yeah, into the wild is where you can get rid of Frustration. This is going to be happening in around 3 weeks. So 3 weeks of Trevenant not having the right moveset. I think that's something that we can all still deal with, and as soon as this event is going to start into the wild event, you're going to be able to get rid of frustration again, so that's going to be kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to have Khadra here against us. This is going to be not an ideal matchup. I think we're battling as well here right now against a regional winner, which you see based on the drip they are wearing, like the t-shirt you're going to get only if you're going to be able to win a regional tournament, and that is going to be just quite rare for a lot of people. So, as we will see here, Steelix coming through. This is going to be, yeah, sadly not a matchup that I can win. We kind of got walled there, but we're going to be able to move on to the next opponent. And this time around, I actually split up the sets perfectly. So I did have the first set as the first 5 battles, and then, yeah, basically me claiming my rewards. The same goes for the second set. So there's no confusion here. It's not randomized this time around at all. But we're going to have, you know, the Florges against us. They're going to swap onto the Carbink. And honestly, I take this damage here more than anything. Because what this allows me to do is I can just go into my own Carbink, take the hits from the opponent. I have already shield advantage. Now I have the damage advantage, which I really need as well in this matchup. And by the looks of things, there might be even a range for Moonblast plus a little bit of farm down range. So, like, we see here Moonblast coming through. They're definitely never going to use a shield here against a move like Moonblast. They might be able to stop out soon afterwards, and they do decide to do exactly this. But I'm actually okay with that because I can let the move go here. I could go back into my Trevenant, and I will be going back to my Trevenant, but this is not going to be as ideal because, as we're going to see here, we are going to be able to go into our Ferret, but they have a ton of energy. And this is going to be a bit tough. As we will see here, the Chilling Water is coming through. It is going to, yeah, get some more debuffs onto me, as there's going to be another Chilling Water coming in. But luckily we still have that Carbink left as well, which is going to allow us to clear the debuff. Speaking of Carbink, the opponent stops into their own Carbink, which is going to be not ideal. And I can stop into mine, I can go for the full farm down, I clear the debuff onto the Ferret, which is alright. But we are not going to be yet out of the blue here. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for the charge move against Lapras though, which is going to be alright. This is going to allow us to get some nice damage on against them. And we will see here as well, they're going to go for the full farm down with their Psy Wave. In comes our Ferret again, in comes the Florges. I have to let the move go. I know that the Lapras has some energy stored. I know that I'm mostly going to need my shield here for my Ferret. My play here is to go for a double Swift. I hope this is going to be enough. I don't think the opponent has 2 charge moves stored yet. And as you're going to see here, the first Swift is coming through. We see if it's going to be enough, if we're going to go for another one. It seems like it. I mostly will maybe just go straight for the Trailblaze as well. But like this, we are going to still be able to win this battle. Or we're going to be able to move on to the next one. As you're going to see as well, this was the first set. I was claiming up to over 2,700 rating there. I'm very close to the expert ranking. I haven't actually tryharded yet. I haven't. Like, I really haven't. Just doing casually my battles. I am playing whatever I really want to play, and that is kind of fine. That being said, I want to try for next week or maybe the week after to try to hit Legend for that. I might even just try to do like a series of like, I want to play like series teams until I hit Legend. Something like this I might be doing. I have to see. But we are currently still just a tiny bit over halfway through the season, and there's going to be a lot to come, so definitely stay tuned for that as well. Like, I'm not really too worried about my Edo at all yet, and I don't think you should be either. At the end of the day, what you should be trying to worry about is trying to improve every day. This is kind of something that is what helps you the most in the GO Battle League. If you want to kind of get better, you just have to play. You have to look back at kind of things and see on a way you can improve. But yeah, again, if you need actually help with anything like this as well, though, I offer coaching as well on Verify. Short shout out there to that website there as well. So, like, if you're interested in this, link down below. Anyway, we were able to snipe the opponent's Quagsire with our Trevenant, which is going to be fantastic. And now look at this. I just want you to like this. This is going to be a resisted Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb is not a strong move, but honestly, Trevenant does so much damage with it. And this kind of puts the opponent's Fearow into range for the Swift of our Ferret. We are going to be able to go for the full farm down, and we are going to be able to win this battle. Of course, for this team here, we are going to run a very, very good core together. We are going to run the core together of the Carbink together with the Trevenant. Those are working out super well with each other because one is kind of covering the weakness of the other one. The main weakness of our lead is going to be Dark, Fire, and Flying. Everything is going to be resisted by the Carbink. Carbink's main weaknesses are Grass and Water, which of course our Trevenant is going to be able to deal with as well. Same as Ground, same kind of even as Steel. Like, if you wouldn't have Frustration over Shadow Ball, you would be kind of good with your yeah, what's called against steel type Pokemon, because you actually do quite a lot of damage there as well. But because we're currently only having on the charge move of Seed Bomb, we are kind of usually just doing resistant damage there. Frustration doesn't really help us here either. Anyway, what does help us is that the opponent here for our Bubble Beam, which is actually going to be alright for us. We're going to sub out straight away, but we're getting hard-walled here. Honestly, most of the losses here today were actually just getting completely hard-walled with no chance at all. Like, I think it's like already the third loss here where I just had no chance based on the teams that I brought and that the opponent brought. And that's kind of unfortunate, but it's kind of part of the game as well. So, we're going to have Lapras in late. With the recent update to Seed Bomb, I am going to be able to outspeed the opponent every single time. So, this is kind of going to be alright. And let's hop out into a Pokemon that we haven't really seen here for ages. The Jumpluff is a Pokemon that is going to be, one that kind of got nerfed this season, with Aerial Ace taking more energy basically in order to get fired off, which kind of makes it more difficult to play. But as you can see here, we're still going to take some solid damage here from the opponent, but we're just going to be able to go for the full farm down, leaving here with a bit of energy. And we're going to have, the Lapras going for a charge move. That's totally fine. We're going to go down here. By the way, if you see like sometimes break in between as well, it is very late. I'm just yawning sometimes a bit. I'm trying to cut it out. Anyway, we're going to have here the Seed Bomb coming through. This is totally fine. This is going to be up against a Meloma though. I did actually see the swap out into the Lapras, but this is okay for us. And if you see here, I tried to click onto the third before, and I clicked perfectly onto the third. So, why couldn't I swap out immediately, and why did I go for an extra fast move? The issue was actually that my editing software, my recording software, I actually had someone asking this in the comment section recently as well. I saw the comment, I forgot to answer towards it. How do I record my battles? I just literally have the built-in screen recorder from Samsung. That's all that I do. But yeah, basically, the little thing that you need to click on to start that was directly on my switch button, which I tried to change the nade on as well, but it affected one more battle as well, I think. And that was kind of funny because I couldn't swap out. If this little button is directly next to the swap out menu, you can't swap out really. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this is kind of why I couldn't swap out there straight away. It didn't really matter. We can move on here to the next opponent. We're going to encounter a Dugong, a matchup that's going to be quite nice for us, as we're going to have a great answer here, and we're going to have the full farm nearly happening, but the opponent stops out into that Nidoqueen. I can go for the Seed Bomb, but I'm going to wait until they go for a charge move first, and then I'm going to go for one fast move, my own charge move, which I think is going to be best. Or I can even go for 4. That is kind of doing the same here. Seed Bomb coming through, because guess what? There's nothing else I can go for. And the shield is coming up here, which is kind of, I mean, not surprising, but like it's interesting. We're going to have another Seed Bomb coming in here as well. And I decided that I guess it's going to be best to go into my third here. They're very likely going to go for the bait, right? They did not. This is going to be a Earth Power. Earth Power does a ton of damage, and we're going to have no Florges against us. I want to swap out here straight away into the Carbonic as well again. But again, I wasn't able to swap out here in time. This was, again, the next battle where it actually mattered. But as you will see, I decided to use a shield here. I am now going to be able to swap out because I was just a little bit more towards the border, I guess, towards the left side in order to hit this move. But as you can see, this is going to allow us to get them super low enough for the third, low enough for some Sucker Punch damage here as well. And so, as we will see, they're going to have still a Nidoqueen in the back. We are looking quite alright, I think, as you can go for the full farm down. There is going to be still that Dugong on the back. We can go for the KO, and we just have to farm on the final one here. And so we are going to be able to win this battle. Next up, last battle for today. We're going to have Chestnut in the lead. That's going to be a great matchup. We're going to have Shadow Ball with Seed Bomb, not so much. And we don't have really the best answer for Drapion here. Doesn't mean that we have the worst answers, but if the opponent goes for a crunch and gets the debuff straight away, it's frustrating because you would have had such a different matchup if it wasn't for the debuff here as well. Because what you're going to see is that the opponent is actually going to be able to get us super low here. But as we see as well, there's going to be a charge move coming through. We are going to be able to knock them out here neatly. They're going to still go for another charge move. They're going to be going down now. And with that, we are going to have now the Chestnut up against us. I don't really want to give them too much energy, so I was happy that my Pokemon was kind of low already. But again, here they very likely know that I can only go for the Seed Bomb. And so, yeah, I am going to go into my third next. I'm going to be able to go for the Swift. And this is going to allow us to get the shield from the Typhlosion. And here's going to be the end game. I need to kind of get still, I don't know, like damage onto this. I'm mostly not going to be able to fully farm this Pokemon down. But I'm going to be able to get both shields down here with those Swift, which is going to be cool. And with that, we are going to be in a position now where you just have to knock them out. We're going to be able to get the KO against that Chestnut. I just have to basically, hit the move correctly, and I should be kind of fine. We're going to have here the seed bomb coming in. This is totally okay. This is going to be totally alright here. The seed bomb is not maybe actually going to be enough to knock them out. Friendly Plant was barely not enough to knock us out. But as you can see here, there's going to be another seed bomb coming through, but we are going to lose the CMP attack against Typhlosion. As long as I have another charge move, I'm going to be screwed, and they do. And this was very nicely played by the opponent. This is going to be a fast video. Hopefully you enjoyed the little showcase here of the new Pokemon. But yeah, the team actually worked out quite well. Maybe give it a try, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.